Okay, I was looking through my videos that I made like the first few days, and I uploaded one that I made about the bank. But then a lot of things happened at the same time, and the videos got a bit too long, so I think I would just like summarize what happened in hindsight like this. So on Thursday, I went to the bank. They said they couldn't help me because I did not have the right documents, even though I did bring the documents that they asked me to bring. So I went back home. I asked the hotel again if they had the invoice, if I could get the invoice, and they were still like, no, rules, we cannot break rules. And then I had to cry because I had a mental breakdown. I was like, nothing works for me right now. And then I went out to meet my friend. Which was really fruitful because I was also, yeah, so the thing was, I couldn't open my bank account unless I had like my own address, and I couldn't how to say, reserve a appointment with the immigration office to like how can I say, to get the ARC, because I did not have an address. So it was a bit weird, but if you like want to apply for if you want to reserve a visit to the immigration office to apply for the ARC, you have to do that online. You have to do it online, and then there are some things that you have to fill out. And so the first thing you have to select is the immigration office that you're going to. But for me, everything I clicked on, I got the message saying that this immigration office did not belong to my jurisdiction. What is that called? I was like, what? And it says like, yeah, your jurisdiction thing, blah, I don't know what it's called, is in Seoul. It is in Incheon Airport. I was like, what does it mean? What? So I called the immigration office, which is really something that I don't like. I don't like calling, but luckily they did speak English. I checked beforehand, and this man was really nice, but I think he did not know my problem, because after that call I found out that I did something wrong, and it was not that. Well, anyways, so the guy in the telephone, he said that it sometimes happens that there's like a new rule or something, that foreigners who come, they are like registered in the Incheon airport if they don't have an address, like a long-term address in Korea. And I was staying in a hotel, so that did not count. So I would be like signed in to the Incheon airport immigration area. I was like, what? It makes no sense. But anyways, so I was like, what do I need to do? And then he was like, yeah, you first need to get like a real address, and after that you know which like area your address. This is hard to explain, but there's like several immigration offices, and they have like their own area that they have jurisdiction over or something. And then you need to know in which area your house is in order to know to which immigration office you have to go. If you go to the wrong immigration office, then it's not good. It's not like things happen. It's illegal. I don't know. So he was like, you don't know where your address will be, so you cannot apply for a reservation, because maybe you will apply to the wrong immigration office. So I was like, and that first day after I filmed that last video, I was like, mental breakdown, another mental breakdown. And then I met my friend, and I was just like telling her like, I really hate this area. Like, I thought it would be nice here because it's supposed to be modern, but why is there nothing that I need? And why is there a lot of noise, and a lot of cars, and a lot of lights, and a lot of overwhelming stuff going on. So I was at that point, I was like, I would just want to go back to where I lived last time, because at least I know how things work there. I know that everything is in one street, you know. It's just so convenient. And I don't mind having to travel like an hour to get to the academy. At that point, I was just like, fuck it. Oh, sorry, I could not say that right. I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Right? Just let me just live in a quieter area with things that I know how they work and where they are. And then she was like, but it's quite far, so maybe we can find like a different area. And then turns out that her parents actually are, what's that called? Real estate agents. So she was like, I can ask my dad if they have some vacancies in that area, and she also lives in that area. So that was like, oh, that's nice. And it was quite close to a subway line. That was, yeah, it was good place. And it was supposed to be a quieter area, so I was like, okay, that is good. Actually, it's really convenient that your parents are real estate agents, because I was dreading going to a real estate agent and, you know, having to speak Korean and having to trust some random person. So her father checked back with us that day, and he was like, I have one vacancy, but it's kind of like very fast. You need to get in very fast. It was like, you have to get in like on Saturday, and it was like Thursday. So it was a little bit of a back and forth. We looked at the room. It was really nice. The conditions were very good. The location was very good. The price was super cheap compared to, like, you know, for what you get. It was very cheap. And it was definitely below my budget anyway, so that was good. So I was like, yeah, why not? Like, at this point, I just take anything I can have. But then it just so happened that, like, just before I accepted that, like, before we told the father that, okay, we want to do this, so someone else had already taken the place. So that was sad. But then her father was looking for other places, and that night when I came back to my hotel room, I got a message from my friend, and she was like, oh, we found this place, and it's actually, the landlord is a friend of my parents. So I was like, oh, this is even better. I guess, I don't know. But the place was really good. It was like 25 square meters in a quiet area. It was along line 7, which is like a direct connection between... It smells like pancakes in here suddenly. I don't know, it smells weird. Anyways, I hope nothing is burning though. But anyways, it's weird. What was it talking? Oh yeah, so a direct connection between... Is that a right word? I don't know. Direct connection between my house and the academy is about 45 minutes from door to door. A little bit longer maybe, depends. What am I talking about? Sorry, I'm really distracted by this pancake smell. Takes me back to the Netherlands. But in Korea, they like to eat pancakes on rainy days, and it's a rainy day today, so maybe. And also, it's Chuseok, so that people are free and they don't know what to do with their life. I don't know. What am I talking about? Okay, so yeah, so that place, and it was quite cheap. It was 400. I don't even remember. 400. I don't know. Anyways, cheap. And the deposit sum was also relatively low for Korean standards. Still a lot for Dutch standards. So my father... Oh yeah, so on Friday maybe? No, I'm not quite sure. Friday, I think Friday afternoon. Yeah. Friday afternoon, after some class thing going on, I went to visit the place, and my friend was there, her mother and the landlady thing. Yeah, so we visited the place. It was good. I think like the area is already super quiet. I was here. I was like, also I thought that I had been here before. I'm saying here because I'm actually in the room right now, but spoilers. I actually felt like I had been there before, I don't know. Anyways, but it's because along this line I have played volleyball. It's like a volleyball place, and I don't even know exactly. I do know because I've marked it on the map, but I do not know on the top of my head. But anyway, so I went here and looked around. The whole thing was like, the pictures they sent was like an empty room, but obviously there was someone already living here who was going to move out, and it was quite messy. But I feel like Koreans in general have like quite messy rooms. If you just look at the pictures, like of crammed rooms. Not, I mean, my room is also quite messy, but they have like very crammed rooms. There's a lot of random stuff stacked and filled and space. I just like space. Anyways, what am I talking about? Yeah, so I called my father, like FaceTime. I showed him the room. I told him about the price, and he was just like in shock by the amount of the deposit, which is really not a lot for Korean standards. I do not remember. I'm not good with numbers, so I will not just spill out random numbers and then surprise, I am wrong because I do not remember numbers. So it was just very low for Korean standards. But for us, it was a lot of money. So he was like, no, this is not good. But then I was like, you're not gonna find anything that has a lower deposit. Like, I know it's a lot, but it is not as much as you'd normally have to pay here. Also, deposit money, you get it back, and just this is all because they are friends, like they're relatives. I don't know how to say, but like, because we know, it's like I know her and she knows her and she knows her. Like, this is relatively safe, right? There's some accountability. So he was like, okay, it's your call. So then I was like, yeah, let's just do it, because at that point I was still like kind of desperate. And actually this room is very nice because it's quiet, and that was one of my biggest things. Oh, sorry, I'm like sitting like this, but I should not be doing that. Am I sitting right? Yeah, okay, anyways. I can see myself here. Oh yeah, so we went to the real estate, the office thing, and there was the whole contract signing ceremony going on. Contract is here, yay. I guess. Oh, actually I can see it here, right? 20,000 with another 3 zeros. Is it? Yeah. 220,000,000,000,001. So if we like transfer like 20,000 euros, something like that. I just easily do it like that. It's not one-on-one, obviously, but just to get an idea. Yeah, so we signed that thing. It was a whole lot of things going on that I didn't know because it was in Korean and I don't know. And then we had some dinner with me and my friend and her mother. Then they brought me back to the hotel, which was really nice. And I felt a lot better because at least I had like an actual address, and then I could finally like reserve a visit to the immigration office because I knew which area I was gonna live in. And then I did that, and then at that moment I found out that I just fucked. Look, so I cannot say that word. I just did not write first few tries that I tried when I tried to make the reservation, I just completely missed the first selection box thing. So you have like the selection of the immigration office. It's a drop down menu, so you have to choose. But above that is like a search field in which you can search the relevant immigration office. So if you click on that, you have to fill out your address, and then it says like, this is your immigration office, and then it automatically selects it for you. I did not do that because I did not see it, because it was not really visible. But apparently all other people did see it. So it's just me. It's just I did something wrong. My eyes didn't work or something. I didn't understand it. So if you do that, you can find your immigration office, and it's all right. So just don't use the drop down menu. Do use the search thing. That is just like how Koreans work. Also, usually when you have to fill out like your address, you cannot directly fill it out in the boxes. You have to do like a search button, and then you have to fill in and then click on something, and then it, yeah, I don't know, it's weird. But anyways, what else did I need to say? I think that's that. So after that, I think it was on Saturday, I was going to reserve the visit. Mind you, it was like only Saturday, so it's 20, 21, 22, 23rd of August, I think, something like that, that I was going to reserve my visit. Actually, I had to go to the same, still have to go, spoilers, I have to go to the same immigration office as last time when I was in Annam, in Korea University, which is the immigration office in Jongno, close to, what's that called? In Sadung, yeah, that's that. That is my favorite place, actually. Yeah, it's nice. But so I do know, maybe not remember where it is, but I did actually like, now it just starts to smell like fish. I don't know what. Maybe it's a fish pancake. Like they're my, I don't like fish. It's really not nice. Anyways, I have to wrap this up because I need to do stuff. But what am I talking about? Oh yeah, so I was reserving the visit, and then I had a panic attack. Not really, but I was panicking because there was a lot of gray areas, like in the date selection. There's a lot of gray. I had to like scroll all the way to like October, which is not too far away if you think about it. But in my head, it's a long time. A long time that you have to survive with cash, and not being able to order things online is not nice. But so the first date available was the 10th. I can't speak. 10th of October. Where's my phone? Actually, I want to check if that is true, because I'm now doubting myself. But 10th of October, I just picked the first date and first available time, which was a really weird random time, and I actually have class on that time, but I was just like, at this point I don't care, I just want to get my ARC as soon as possible. It's possible. But then I got a jump scare because on my visa it says that I thought my visa was gonna end the 23rd of October, because that is a date mentioned on the visa form. I will not show it to you because there's obviously personal information. But what am I gonna say? I don't remember. Oh yeah. I was already thinking like this is such a weird time. Like it's only 3 months, literally only 3 months for this visa to be like that is weird. But I did not know. I was not. It's just really weirdly written on the visa. It's like very unclear. I wasn't the only one who thought it was that. But so I emailed the academy like, hey, my visit to the immigration office is like 10th of October, but my visa is like ending at the 23rd of October. Is that okay? Because you know it usually takes like 4 weeks to get the actual card, and if you want to prolong your visa, obviously it will take a few, like I have no experience doing that, so I don't know, but I imagine that it will take a few weeks maybe. So I was stressing, and then I got an email back and saying that usually visas are like either half a year or 1 year, so maybe you should check again. So I checked again, and then I saw that, oh, there's like 2 boxes, like one box is, it literally says something like expiration date of this visa is like the 24th of October, and then duration 1 year. So I was like, expiration date to me sounds like I just never saw the duration 1 year bit. But then I realized, maybe they mean that you can only enter the country with this form before the 23rd of October. And just you can stay for a year with this, but you have to get your ARC within 90 days from entrance anyway, so you cannot actually stay for a year without the ARC. But anyway, so that I finally got all of that out of the way, and I have to go to the immigration office on Friday. Oh, I'm so tired. I think I'm gonna stop this video here because I'm so tired. I need to eat, and I'm going to do stuff which I have to do. Yay. Yeah, okay, that's it. I'll probably think of something else to talk about for next videos. Okay, yeah. Bye. Right, I forgot one thing about the bank thing. Because I said I could only open a bank account if I had that address, right? If I had the contract. So on Monday, because obviously in the weekend they are not open. On Monday, I went to the bank again with my contract. I was like happy because now I had everything they wanted me to have. But I was wrong again. I had to wait an hour before I got in there because it was quite busy for some reason. And then when I was going to the counter, I was like, here are all my documents, and now I do have an address. And then they were like, yes, but you are not actually living there yet, so you cannot open a bank account with this address. I was like, why do I have to go to the bank like 4 times before I can actually do stuff, you know? Because, okay, so I had to wait until I got into my house, which was the 2nd of September, which is also a nice story, which I'm gonna talk about in another video, because there's not a lot of time. But, so I went to the bank after I moved in here. I did not go immediately because I was tired and I just didn't want, and it doesn't matter because I cannot use my bank account. I can only use cash. I can only go to the counter and say like, hey, I want cash, thank you. I cannot do anything with it anyway, so at that point I was just apathetic. I was just like, no, it doesn't care, it doesn't matter. So I went to the bank a few days later and I opened a bank account, and finally they did open a bank account. Ugh, so frustrating. But yeah, and then after I get my ARC, I think I can go after after I go to the immigration office. I have to go to the SIM card service first, because I do have a SIM card, but they registered the SIM card on my passport, on my Dutch passport. And in Korea they have this like whole identification verification system, identity verification system, sorry about that, which they use like your resident number it's connected to your phone number, but yeah, so you have to register your SIM card on your ARC number and not on your passport number, because you're registered in the immigration office in that combination of ARC number and your Korean phone number. So you have to have that exact connection, otherwise you cannot get verified. And in order to get a bank pass, a card, an actual card, you have to be verified. So you first have to go to the SIM card thingy again. I have to go to the SIM card thingy again. I don't know why it stopped filming for the last few seconds, but anyways. So I have to go to the SIM card thing. I have to say like, hey, I now have like a resident number. Please transfer the SIM card on the resident number. Yeah. And then I can get verified. Then I can go back to the bank and be like, hey, I have ARC now. I am actually registered as a person. And then hopefully they will give me a debit card, and then I can actually do like online banking stuff as well. And I can pay things. And then actually I can also upload, like top up my card, my transportation card, because they actually installed some of those machines where you can like top up your card, which have like the credit/debit card entry, which is new. This is like only happened in like this summer 2025. Yeah, but so I have my Wise card, right? So I thought I can do that. I can finally like don't have to use cash. I can use my Wise card. But no, as a foreigner, you cannot do it. You still have to use cash because we hate foreigners or something. I don't know. You can only use a Korean issued credit or debit card. If you do like make like a step forward, why do you make a baby step forward and not like just a normal human being step forward? But anyway, so but if I have my debit card, I can pay my I don't have to use cash to top up my card. Yep. Bye.